everybody, my name is Shakira and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please like this video and please comment more video ideas and things that you would like for me to do for you guys and things that you would like to see from me, and also comment some questions, anything that you would like to ask me about dating, about relationships, about healing or breakups. Leave those questions down below in the description box so that I can answer those questions in the upcoming Q&A. Lastly, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps a lot and it's just a huge motivation to me when I see more people subscribe and getting help through my channel. And please just share this video with your friends and your family and with your loved ones. And so in this video, I wanted to talk about something that God has been dealing with me for like this past few weeks. So in my last video, I talked about how I feel like I could move forward and like I feel like God was leading me into this new season of, being in a relationship and like preparing me for marriage. And, I kind of feel like I had arrived at, at my goals and what I was trying to accomplish during my time of singleness. But this past week, God, he completely dealt with me about that. And he revealed to me that this whole time I had been making an idol out of marriage. Like, I've kind of stopped my life to wait for someone to come and ask me to be their girlfriend and eventually ask me to be their wife. Like, I had stopped my life and my process waiting for this. And God, he just really had to deal with me about that because I didn't think that I made marriage an idol. Like, I would listen to sermons and Bible study teachings about how people make marriage an idol, but I didn't feel like that applied to me. I thought I put it in its perspective place, and I thought that I had got to the point where I had enough faith to just hand that area on over to God and let him deal with it. And while my faith has increased, I've also have allowed my life to revolve around marriage. And I think that it has become like a coping mechanism for me without even realizing it. Like, since I was hurt in my past relationship and I don't really have good memories of relationship, I put all of my focus into fantasizing about this perfect marriage that I wanted. And I found myself like, this would be the only thing I think about was marriage, and it affects everything that I do, and all of the decisions that I made were based on my desire to get married. And like, when I was going through the process of healing, I used the promise of marriage or my desire to get married as motivation for me to heal. And I said that, like, I'm healing, I'm going through this process, I'm going through this hurt so that I can have a good marriage. And without realizing it, I really made an idol out of marriage. And I feel like a lot of us do that, especially as women, without even realizing it. Like, I only thought about myself as somebody's future wife or somebody's future mother. I never picture myself as an individual. Like, yeah, there were things that I wanted to do for myself, but at the end, everything that I've done up until this point has been because of my desire to get married. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think we should be able to plan and work toward our goals and figure out what it is we want and do what we can to prepare ourselves for that. But it really became the source of everything I did and all of my motivation. Like, it became the only thing that I thought about, even to the point where it was like I wouldn't even talk to other guys if I couldn't see them as a potential husband. Like, if I couldn't see myself being with the guy, then he essentially became worthless to me. Like, I wouldn't even be a friend. I wouldn't even try to talk to you. I wouldn't even try to get to know you if you're a guy and I don't see you as a potential husband, because like I was just so set on marriage. And my ideas of what I believed it should look like and how I believed my life should go. And I really felt like I was stuck in this healing process. Like I've been feeling stuck these past few weeks in like this dark place of waiting, because I feel like I've been progressing and doing better to heal, and I feel like I've arrived at a place where I'm satisfied with my growth and satisfied with myself. And I felt like I was prepared to enter into a relationship with someone else. And so when I got to this point where I felt like stuck, I felt like, what next? I started to question God a little bit. Like, God, I took out this time to be single, to better my relationship with you. I've done that. I've started to read my Bible more. I've started to pray more. I've started to fix all the things that I didn't like about myself. Like, I've read books about relationships and marriage. I took a whole semester long class about relationships and marriage. Like, what else am I supposed to do? It's supposed to be this natural progression. That's what I thought it was supposed to be. Like, I take these steps, and then when I complete these steps, then God will send a husband in my life. And I didn't even realize that that's the way that I thought, and that was the driving force behind my healing process. And so when that didn't happen, I kind of started to question God, like, am I even gonna get married? Like, why did I go through all this process and I'm still single? Like, if you've given me this desire to be married, like, why hasn't there even been a guy to show interest in me yet? Like, I started to just ask all these questions because I thought that God would just reward me for being faithful and for being disciplined and for doing all those things that he told me to do during my time of singleness. I always thought that marriage was the reward of doing all of these things. And so God just had to show me that, like, my faith was so little. Like, that was the only thing that I believed God to do in my life. I only believed that God would be the one to send me a husband. I only prayed for God to heal my heart so that I could find a husband. And he just showed me just like how much I've limited him to this one area of my life. And like before, it was hard for me to give my relationships, that area of my life, to God. But now I've started to only believe him for that. And he told me, like, you have so much more to believe me for. You have so much more to pray for. So why are you just limiting me to this one area that does not define the rest of your life? Like, to women, marriage does not define you. God has something that he wants to do in you before he gives you a person. And he has given you purpose that is not, that you don't have to wait to fulfill until you get married. You should start working and walking in your purpose right now, because it's already in you. Like, when you get a husband, like, the purpose isn't just gonna activate in you. No, he already gave you a purpose, and he wants you to go ahead and walk in it. And he wants us to believe him for more than just a husband and for more than just marriage. Like, he wants you to be wealthy. He wants you to be prosperous. He wants you to be healthy. He has given you ideas and wisdom that he wants to see you put into action. He wants to see you flourish as an individual. Like, we don't have to stop and wait. We should still be working and waiting. And that's what I was doing. I completely stopped myself. I completely stopped the process of my life because I felt like if I moved forward, or if I moved from this place, then I will be missing out on what God has for me. But no, God can only work in our lives if we keep on moving forward. So I realized that, like, marriage has just been this big thing in my life, this big thing that I've been waiting for, that I believed would solve all of my problems and would complete me in some kind of way. And I felt like I felt like I actually like kind of tricked myself to believe all these things so that I could quickly heal and like have a purpose and like a reason to heal. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I really think that like my goal of marriage has really helped me in my time of healing and in my time of singleness to be able to learn more about myself, to be able to fix those toxic traits about myself. But I've put those things above everything else. And all of my prayers have just been the same, about the same thing. God, heal me. God, send somebody in my life that's good, somebody that's from you. And God, heal my heart so that I'll be able to love somebody again today. And like that's just really like limiting God and what he can do. And I didn't even realize that that was literally like all that I prayed for, when God can do so much more. I should be believing him for so much more in my life. There's so much more that I need him to do for me other than marriage. And I shouldn't put so much emphasis and put so much of my identity into marriage, because marriage isn't promised to us. Like, yes, God, he wants us to be married. He wants us to be able to have a life partner. He wants us to have relationships, but marriage was never promised to us. And so I shouldn't put my hope in something that isn't promised, something that isn't a guarantee in my life. But I should build my hope on those things that are certain, and that is the purpose that God has given me and those personal promises that he has given me. And so I cannot stay in this place. I cannot stay waiting passively, but I have to continue to walk forward in the purpose that God has given me. And I pray that if you have also made an idol of marriage, that God helps you to tear down that altar for marriage that you have built, because you're only setting yourself up for disappointment. And I'm so glad that God revealed this to me now, because if I would have kept worshiping marriage the way that I have in the past, that I would find myself so disappointed when I actually got married. Because marriage isn't the way that we visualize it in our heads. Like, marriage is hard, and it's a fight, and it's a process. So I'm so glad that God revealed this to me now to prevent me from suffering later. And so I pray that he also reveals the same thing to you, and that you do what you have to do to put marriage in its proper place, and to make God the head of your life again, and to make the fulfillment of the purpose that God has given you your ultimate goal, and the thing that you hope for, and the thing that you work towards every single day. So that's just a little bit of my story and what I've been struggling with a little bit, and I just hope that this helps you. Like, this is the purpose of my channel, for me to be transparent about my life and about my experiences and my thoughts, so that you are helped in your life. And I just really hope that I said something in this video that helped you and that gave you a new perspective of things. And I just pray that God continues to work on my heart and your heart also. So if you like this video, please literally like it, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.